Now over halfway through November on the farm, it's time to merge our smaller fields into one big cornfield, check on our production, and set up some new equipment for our future harvests here at Shady Country Distillery. Welcome back to the farm. You can find a link to this series in the description or in the comments below, and of course, check out the channel page for other farming series you might like. We are now in the second half of November here on the farm at Shady Country Distillery. Done a few things since last episode. Of course, the last episode was, the beginning of November. Since then, we now have all the hay off of the fields here. So remember I spoke of, we want to join all of this back into one field like it was originally. So I went ahead, mowed all the grass, baled it into hay, because if we're going to plow over it, why not get, what crop we can off of it. And we made, so all the grass here in these two sections of grass were turned into hay, baled, and sold for about $32,000, I think. So yeah, it definitely pays to mow your lawn before you plow it under. Yeah, I made well over $30,000 selling those hay bales. Up here, we had a soybean crop, which I've harvested, and that's now in our silo. I figure we'll probably sell that come summertime when a good price is being offered for that. For now, let's see, we want to distribute some stuff amongst the still to get some moonshine going. Well, moonshine is always being produced here, but we need to kind of fill up some of our production. And today we're going to be getting in our big tractor, our New Holland, and we're actually going to start breaking all this down into one field. We're going to get this all formatted and get this, start the process of getting this all made into one field, which will be planted next year. So this is going to be one big field next year, and it'll be, I think this one's going to be corn. But for now, there's some production stuff we can take care of. I want to get some oats out to the still. So let's get some oats out of our, I don't know how much we need, so we'll probably just fill this tipper about halfway full or so. Oh, actually, while we're over here, I see that our mill has, our mill's been running. It's producing flour from sorghum and canola oil. So let's grab these, and we're just going to take these over to our warehouse area here. I've been storing these here. The flour we're storing, now the flour does go into some moonshine production. However, you can see here, this will make 5 pallets of it. Well, I'm storing extra because we're going to have a bakery, so we can bake bread and make moonshine from bread. The bakery, and when we plan this field, we're going to be planning it around the bakery. We're going to build it out there somewhere in that field over yonder where the other buildings are. So that's something I want to take into account whenever we start working on that field. I do want to take into account where the bakery might be. But yeah, that's what a lot of that flour is going to. And this canola oil here, we're just selling. It pulls a pretty good price at the sale point. So we've just been selling the canola oil. It's usually about $4,000 to $5,000 per pallet of it. For now, we'll just stow this in here. Now, is that 2 pallets of it? I think it's only one. The other one is, what is this other pallet? Oh, I see. The other one is sunflower oil. Okay, I was like, why does that pallet look slightly different? Those bottles look different. Okay, yeah, sunflower oil, because we harvested that field. We had extra sunflowers. That's right. It was a contract we did. Yeah, it's just, I do so much work every month. Sometimes I forget that, just earlier we harvested a sunflower field, and they're actually using our mill to process the sunflowers. And of course, so we've got some of that here for our use because they're using our mill. That's where the sunflower oil came from. But yeah, doing another contract might just be a good idea. And that reminds me, speaking of harvesting and possibly another contract, we've got a new header for the harvester. One came up, used one came up on sale earlier in the month, and it's a much bigger header. It's at the shop right now, which is also where our harvester is, and we might want to get a trailer for that header and get it home. Now, it's much bigger. It's bigger than you would traditionally think our harvester would run. I think it'll work. If it doesn't, we'll just have to get a bigger harvester, but we'll see. For now, let's get some oats out to our still. So let's see. Let's just fill this, like, I don't know. let me think. How much do I think we need? There's no way we need more than, I think, like 6 or so thousand liters. Should be plenty of oats. Maybe 8,000 liters. So let's get some oats in here. Wow, this silo works really, really slow. But, well, it's a small silo with a small auger. So let's just get, yeah, like 6,000 oats. Alright, we're going to haul this. Oh, yeah, this trailer is a little bit tall for that. Let's carefully haul this out to our still, and we want to make sure that we have oats so that, yeah, so we can keep producing alcohol. We've got some moonshine we always have moonshine to deliver to the sell point. We'll do that later today. We might have some more. As of right now, I think we've got maybe about 8 cases of moonshine. I'd rather take more, so we'll see. All right, but for now, in the interest of keeping our distillery stocked, and of course I still have it as just these 3 buildings. I haven't... Oh wow, it's taking way more than I thought. Okay. Alright, well, I should have just waited, and I honestly, didn't think they needed that much, but they do, so I'm going to get more and come back out here. Okay, we're back out here with a few more oats. That last one, well, the one we filled, it seemed like it took close to 4,000 liters, so we definitely have enough now. So let's see how much this one has room for. Alright, yes, we will have room. We'll get these filled up, and we can start. I want to start working on this field out here and see. Yeah, see. This is going to be a pretty big field, and yeah, I think it's going to be corn. But we'll decide that. We'll plant that next year. Of course, it won't be planted this winter. Do have to watch this here. This bit beside me here. This is canola. Yeah, though it looks hardly distinguishable from the grass. This is canola. We're going to have to avoid trampling that. That section of the field, I guess, remains. Canola is good profit, so let's get this filled up. We'll park the trailer over here, and we'll get on the New Holland. We'll have a look at making this field, and then, of course, there's other things I want to do, too, like see about our harvester header, things like that. That's still at the store. Oh, yeah, I want to look at harvesting contracts, potentially. I want to see if there's any other harvested contracts that are looking to use our mill, which is often the case. You know, as long as we're parked right here, this is usually where I park the trailer. Is there any reason I can't just... See, I can haul these oats back over to our silo. I see literally zero reason why we can't just dump these oats right here and then leave the trailer parked here. We've got plenty of oats. We're going to have a lot more next year. That's what we'll be planting in our big field is oats. Yeah, I'll just park those in our silo. There we go. Now our tipper is empty. Now it's not going to be a matter of we pick up the tipper to use it for something, and then it's like, oh, there's oats in it from before. All right, now to tackle this. Our New Holland, which could use a bit of a wash. I don't think... No, this is a pretty new acquisition, this tractor. In fact, I've not used it. No, we used it in the big field. I was going to say, I didn't think I've used it in an episode. Not true. We used it for our big field. We're using it here. Alright, so... we're going to want to... well, we're going to take this... really all the way down to the canola field. We're just going to wipe all of this with the disc harrow. And I want to leave some room for a bakery. But, yeah, this is the fun part. This is where, this is the best part of farming right here. I mean, just getting creative, getting down in the dirt and saying, we're going to, yeah, redo this entire field. Right. So yeah, we're going to run this all the way down here. Originally this field was 5.8 hectares. Now we've taken a decent chunk out of it for the distillery and the warehouse. And I've put those buildings, as you can see over there, up at about, up over there. I put them relatively close to those trees that are out in the field. It is kind of a small, it's an inconvenience to work around trees in the middle of your field, of course. So I've put the buildings close to those trees, and I plan to put the bakery there as well, so that we can just kind of leave that chunk out of the field, so we don't have, you know, an island of trees that we're working around. All right, so up here we're going to want to, well, we're going to want to not hit our canola field. Now I don't know what we're going to do with the canola crop after we harvest it, that section of the field, but of course that's, yeah, it's not this section, it's actually the next one. We are going to cut through this. The canola is the last section of the field up here. It's kind of cool, just like turning all of these sections of the field back into one, just indiscriminately tilling over everything. Everything goes back to dirt eventually. So here we're going to want to be a little precision with the Discaro, but not too bad. There we go. There's, that's fine. And I guess I kind of already, yeah, we'll just kind of put a smooth line for the field around here. And yeah, just keep it on this side of the trees. Leave some extra room over there. So just put it around this way, I figure. Just kind of drive it out, you know, and I figure if we create the field in this manner, it'll be easy to work with. So we get an outline for the field. Let's just bring this to the edge and have a look at this. All right. Yeah, it's a fairly organic shape, kind of. Not set in stone. Yeah, we're going to add the bakery later. Now, yeah, as you can see, we've got some decent money. We've been making some good money selling our products, of course, and we do have a sizable loan to pay back, and I would like to make a good size payment here soon. I kind of want to see how our money's doing, but yeah, I think I'd like to pay back a chunk of that. So we're looking at having pretty much kind of not much money here pretty soon, because actually today we'll probably do that. We'll probably make a payment on our loan today and maybe have a look at getting that bakery built. That bakery, I think, is going to be a $50,000 out-of-pocket cost to build a building. I was thinking, I guess, you know, 50 grand for the bakery and a $50,000 payment on the loan to get started paying that back. And that still leaves us with, as of right now, 45 grand, which I think we can work with. So we got a good outline for the field. Let's have a look at this on the map. All right, so here, yeah, the problem with this is it's kind of, well, it's so odd shaped. It's going to be hard to do straight runs on it, but that is what it is. I'll find, there's efficient ways to run it for sure. I think the best way to run this field is actually the way that we were running it, which is running straight rows across like so, even though it's not the... Alright, so I tried briefly, experimented running east and west on the field, which is how we were doing it with small sections, and yeah, that works. But I think with the field this size, let's find an agreeable line to run going this way of about here. I want to get the most distance out of the field. I think this might be good here. So that's 220 degrees south, which means I guess north will come north at like, I think like 40 degrees. We'll see. I think so. I think that'll be 40 degrees going northeast. I'm using the GPS compass headings because that's just the easiest way to set a straight line so we can make long runs across this field. And yeah, this is the most efficient way to do it. Yeah, see, I started doing it east and west, but I was like, no, you know, we can do way better like this. So if my map is correct, we just want to add 180 degrees. You know, if you're trying to figure out how to go the other way, obviously just add 180 degrees. I think 220, well, 220 minus 80 degree, 180, yeah, I guess that would be 40. Yeah, that would be 40, yeah. Just subtract it, and I guess that is how it makes sense. I was trying to go the other way with it. There we go. This will take us back up the field. But, yeah, I didn't account for the disc harrows swinging out like that, which you should always do. Alright, so we'll just back this up a little bit and not run so far away from the thing. There we go. It's hanging over a little bit, but alright, so we'll do runs up and down like this, and we'll get this cut out pretty quick. Yeah, and this is all going to be corn. This is all going to be corn. So this field all corn, and then our big 8-hectare field is going to be all oats, because we might eventually want more oats too, because the oats goes into grain, alcohol, it goes into the alcohol from the corn, which takes some flour, which we make from oats, and then we'll also want oats for bread. So we'll probably want another field too in the end, eventually. And going back down south, so let's have a look at the contracts. Well, we got the tractor on cruise control here. Let's check contracts. And I want to look at the harvesting. Ooh, there's a lot. There's a lot in the middle of November. And let's see who... Okay, they're using our grain mill here. That's... is that potatoes or sugar beets? It's sugar beets. And just want to look to the ones that are delivering to the American mill. That's ours. That is beets. Yeah, that's beets. I want to make sure that we're out of the menu before we start tearing into our canola field up here. I think there's another soybean harvest that's using our mill. And I like to take those contracts because it's just really handy. It can harvest the field for them and then just bring the grain to our mill here at the farm. Now, I think there's one for soybeans, and that'd be handy because I'm trying not to hit our canola field here. And yeah, because our harvester is already set up to harvest soybeans. I'm going to run this another run here so that we have more room to turn around without hitting our canola field. Let's go ahead and just put some more headland on this field here. And this thing's making pretty quick work of this. This was a lot of work. This field was a lot of work when we had the smaller disc harrow that we were pulling with our smaller tractor. But now with this, it's a lot quicker work. All right, so let's take a break from this for a moment here. This is going really well. I like this disc harrow. This disc harrow, it's pretty shallow tool. As you can see here, when I pull it over different kinds of, yeah, you can see that here it still has some of this ground type. So it's a pretty shallow tool. So it's not big, it's not digging up any rocks, which is good. And I think it's fine for what we're doing here, because this is just, well, I was going to say we don't have any deeper crops planted, but that's not true. We do have corn here. I mean, that's fine though. Anyway, so let's have a look at our harvester, which is down at the shop. So down here at the shop, we have our, well, that needs a wash too. Our harvester. This is the new header that we got for it. This is used. We're going to want to get repairs on this, and we're going to want to get a trailer to get this home. It is pretty big for that harvester. You wouldn't think, well, hey, until we get a bigger harvester, that's what we're using for now. I think it'll push it, but I think the main limitation is actually this harvester's hopper is pretty small, and that wide header is going to fill it up pretty fast. But we'll keep this harvester for the time being. Now, we're going to want to find a trailer for that. All right, I've been looking back and forth, and I think that this right here should work. We're going to try this header trailer here. $4,500, yeah. Hopefully that'll work. Is it big enough? Yeah, I think so. Let's just see. I just shot in the dark, but if nothing else, the color matches. Well, I do like it because it is it's a single axle. I like single axle header trailers because you can back them up easier. Well, you can back them up, period. Now, oh, of course there is. Well, I didn't take everything into account. Come on, guys. All right, so there is the issue of that there. Now, I used to work. Well, I've worked at a few places, but I used to work at a warehouse moving equipment. And we used to move trailers with forklifts. Of course, we had a hitch that we put on the forks, and this doesn't have that, but let's see what we can do about that nonetheless. Yeah, okay, this forklift has no hitch. Let's just imagine it's got a hitch on the forks. It's actually really handy. Yeah, the forklift we used at this one place I worked at, we had a hole in one of the forks, and we just put a trailer hitch in it. And you can just hook that up to trailers and just push them around. So we're just going to imagine that's the case, and just kind of push this out of the way. Why, you ask? Well, because we need to get to the header so we can pick it up and put it on the trailer. Then we can bring our truck and tow this home with the truck. Of course, that's what I'm doing here. Just leave that running. Let's go over here. Oh, we're going to want to get repairs on this header because I bought it used. It's quite used, and I'm sure it's going to need repairs. Let's see here. It's pretty big for this harvester, isn't it? Let's see. What does it say? It says header 30% damage. Well, let's bring it over here and let's get some repairs on it while we're right here. Usually I go to my trusty mechanic down the road, but as long as we're already right here at the shop. All right, repair $299. Not a problem. Yeah, that header only cost, I think it was $20,000. It was $20,000 for this header. It was used, $20,000. The header that this machine had a 5-meter header. This is a 9-meter header, by the way. This machine had a 5-meter header, and I sold it back to the store. I sold it for $18,000, and we bought this for $20,000. So we only paid effectively after the $2,000 for this harvester header, and that's why I jumped at the chance. Even if it turns out that it's just too big for this harvester, then well, it was a really good deal, and we'll just have to find a way to finance a new harvester. All right, now let's rotate this trailer back out so we can put the header on it, and then we'll just come by with a truck or something, and yeah, our truck. We'll come by with our truck and tow that home. Assuming the header wants to go down on it, we'll find out here. Let's get this put away. There we go. All right, so yeah, this looks like I got the right size. It looks like it'll do what we want. Well, that could have gone a little better, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, this is always the problem with these. We're going to have to get the truck down here and maneuver that trailer. That was my fault there. This is just, this is an unfortunate thing. So, I'm going to grab the truck. All right, we are here with the truck. Let's get this straightened out if we can. Hopefully, we can get this trailer to work. Will this truck pull this trailer? Is actually a valid question. Should I have gotten a tractor? Okay, good. Well, when we got here, I had to look at that hitch, and not every pickup truck is getting a hitch to this. Luckily, this truck will. All right, so we're going to have to pull this free, hopefully. All right, so this header's not coming off this trailer, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to let's drop it off there. Let's move the truck clear of this. We need to be able to see it on the map. Let's move the truck clear of that. Let's move the harvester clear of that. We're going to reset that. We're at the shop, so we're going to reset that because the header, it's not budging off the trailer. Sometimes this stuff happens. It's unfortunate. There we go. Right there. Header trailer, reset. All right, now let's see what that got us. Okay. That got us back to this situation. Perfect. All right, that's one thing you can use to overcome this kind of thing. I'm not sure that header goes with that trailer. They look like they match, you know, so we'll just have to be a little more careful here. Header trailers are always kind of a finicky thing, even when you're using them with, well, it doesn't matter how or what you're using them with. Header trailers can always be kind of finicky. Just be a little more careful when we load this on here. Okay, we're going to try this one last time before we try a different trailer. Just I already paid for this trailer. Sometimes you got to try this stuff out. We're going to try this one last time. We're going to have to drop the header a little bit short of the trailer, I guess, because it keeps falling over the far side of it. You know, header trailers have been an annoyance of mine in this game since forever. Forever. They were annoying in 19, and they're just as annoying in 22. I hope with 25 they're less annoying, but I wish they were a platform where you could just drop the header off on it, tie straps on it, and drive off with it. Wouldn't that just be awesome? But sometimes, no. Okay, so that's going to work. Yep. That'll be fine. This is probably not the trailer that goes with this header. That said, that's fine. That's fine, assuming I can still hook back up to it. Because it didn't fall all the way over it, so I'm inclined to think I can still pick it back up. Yeah, I'm going to pull it back a little bit, actually. Yeah, that's how it wants to sit on the trailer. That's going to be fine. So, we're going to... both these machines are going back to our property. Let's get this... yeah, I've been here for a while. Hopefully I edited that down a bit for you, but just a bit of a hassle sometimes to get these things to work. We're going to get this back to the field, or back to the farm, rather. Or is there a hey, let's pull off the road here. Yeah, now that we got a second, let's check the contracts. All right, I had a look at the contracts, and there is a soybean contract, harvesting contract, but it's not for our mill. It pays okay. Well, I was just seeing if I should go ahead and haul the header there. It would be an excellent opportunity to test out our new equipment. But there's already a lot of things to get done this month. There's already a lot of things we have done this month, more things to do. So I'm going to say let's, yeah, we'll wait on that. Let's get this back to the farm. We got work to do on our own farm, you know, and it's a pretty decently sized job. It paid $10,000, but honestly, it sounds like a lot of work we don't need in November. We're already super busy. Well, this is a painfully long drive back from the shop with the harvester. But we have to, so that we can, you know, I have to drive it all the way to the shop so that we can maneuver the header onto the trailer. And then, yeah, we got to drive it all the way back because this is where we need it. But we're almost back now, and we're going to get back to work out in the field. Well, back out here, we are making great progress on the field thanks to our new big tools. And we'll check on the soil state. I think this is doing it fine. But we'll have a look at that when we get to the end here. We'll check on what the field status is, you could say. So I checked the overhead, and this all looks fine. This will be totally fine, and this will be done pretty good and efficiently. Can probably expect, I mean, parts of this field might have different yield than other parts. We could certainly go, I could go over it, and there's time before we plant it to go over it if I wanted to with a more thorough tool that dug deeper into the ground. I could, but for now this has given us at least the field to work with, you know. Well, this is coming along pretty nicely. I'd like to check our production some. I mean, we added the oats to the still earlier, but let's come down this into the field down here, and then I want to check some more into our production. And of course, we do have some moonshine that we can run from our warehouse and sell. It's always nice to bring in a little money every episode I'd like to, but honestly, the still produces enough alcohol that, yeah, really every day there's at least solid 8 to 10 cases per day that we're producing right now. So we'll check down there. I'll see if I can see over here if there's any produced. Yeah, actually there is, and then we'll check and see if there's any of the ingredients that need to be restocked as well. So let's just go ahead, and we're just going to park this here. I'll come back out here and get back to work on this later and finish this field up. So, yeah, there's only one case down here. I wonder why they're putting out the moonshine unevenly. Well, let's have a look at the production menu here. Could use yeast, propane, water, but it's not out of anything. Strawberry jam. Yeah, we're going to want to see if there's more strawberry jam to come over here. I think other than that, I think these are good. And all three of these should be pretty even on this stuff. Yeah, water, propane, and yeast. I'm aware that we need some. I'll keep an eye on some of this stuff here in a little bit. Yeah, well, all this stuff got to keep an eye on at some point. These look pretty good, though. The reason, yeah, this one I think is really out of jam, and so is that one. This one probably has some, and so that's probably why it produced some moonshine and not the others. Well, regardless, we've got some to take to the sale point. Well, just go ahead and put this down very carefully. And, yeah, let's get this fired up. I think we've got about 9 cases to run. So let's get the truck loaded up here. Okay, so we're going to want to pull out, how much do we have? 8, yeah. So that's 9 we're running to the store. Here's 8 more to throw into the truck. So we'll just get these thrown in here. And again, as I've shown in previous episodes, we really just have to throw it in here. Just say that we stacked it nice and neat, but it's really the, when you climb up in there, it's really hard to manipulate the cases. So we're just going to toss them up in there. We'll strap them down though, at least. And we'll get these to the sell point. I might have to jockey with them some down at the sell point to get them to sell, but we'll deal with that. Well, that's not near as full as the last time. Last time we had a couple days worth of moonshine to run down there. Of course, this is our second run. Yeah, this is our second episode in November. This is our second run of the month. All right, let's get this down to the distribution point. And oh yeah, soon I won't be able to drive over this. This is going to be a field. Soon enough, this will be a field. All right, here we are at the Moonshine Sale point. Let's get this back down here, and we should have a decent amount of money waiting for us from this. Hopefully. Okay, we're gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to move some of those cases around. That's just always how it is. Well, one thing good, they are selling for the best price I think we've sold these at for a while. They're selling for an even, I think, $1,200 a piece. Problem is, and this is why I say I throw them in here. You see, if you climb in here, they're almost impossible to grab. There, I throw them in because once you're up in here, you typically can't grab these at all, so I'm going to have to get these maneuvered and sold. There we go, and the last one, yeah, and even, yeah, $1,200 a piece. That's definitely more than we usually get. It's the high end, you know, usually it's $1,100 and something. We'll get this back home, and we do have that pallet of, we got 1 pallet of the sunflower oil, 1 pallet of canola oil. We could definitely use that, the profit from that. And while we're on the way home here, you may notice that we're missing $50,000 up there. Yeah, here on the way home, I stopped by and I did pay $50,000 on some of the money that we had borrowed. Yeah, we took out a pretty good loan for some of the land that we bought. I want to make sure I stay on top of that and get some of that paid off. So I did just pay $50,000 on that. But still, we still have over $100,000. So yeah, we're going to see about loading up on some canola oil and sunflower oil and get some more profit from that. But we still, you know, we got some decent money to work with, and we're paying off our loans, so that's all pretty good. Now, so I'm going to get back here, get some of this done. Guys, thanks so much for following along today. Here in the second episode of November, there was just so much work to do in November. I'll see you guys next time for probably a winter episode. We'll probably just have 1 episode covering the winter. Hard to say for sure. There might be more stuff than I imagine to do during the winter. We'll see how the snow and everything is next time. Guys, thanks a lot. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and comment down below. Tell me what you think. All right, guys, I will see you next time in our winter episode.